Bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making Enchiladas Potosinas. Vámonos! San Luis Potosí was founded as a mining town for gold and silver in 1592. It is famous for its colonial beauty, amazing nature and waterfalls, the friendliest people you'll ever meet, and among many other things, their Enchiladas Potosinas. Cristina Colombo was a woman from the Soledad County in San Luis Potosí. She used to sell handmade tortillas. In 1919, she took her nixtamalized corn to the mill to get it grounded. When she got her masa back, it was red. So she went and asked. They found out that her masa had been contaminated with cascabel peppers that had been milled right before her dough. She couldn't afford to waste it, so she took it home. She made quesadillas for her family, and they all loved it. So she started selling these quesadillas in her shop, covered them with a little bit of cream, and she started calling them enchiladas. It wasn't until the 1960s that they were officially named Enchiladas Potosinas. My sister and her family live in San Luis Potosí, so I've been lucky enough to visit many times. But today, I'm even luckier because my sister's dearest friend, Anna Mary, was kind enough to share with me her family recipe so I could share it with you. And she not only shared with me the recipe, she also sent the most amazing visual instructions on how to make them. And I will show you that later. But for now, I couldn't be more thankful to share this with you. Let's go. We're going to start with the filling, and for that we're going to need 2 tomatoes, 1 serrano pepper or more, 2 to 3 garlic cloves, and 1/8 of an onion. Chop everything well so it fits in your cup, and we're going to take that to the blender. In a pan with some oil, we're going to saute some onion. Then we're going to pour what we just blended and cook it just for a few minutes until it starts bubbling and it changes color. As you can see, some of the liquid has evaporated. Once the sauce has cooled down, I'm gonna add 1 pack of 10 ounces of queso fresco that I just crumbled with my hands. You can grate it or use any other method of cheese destruction that you prefer. The traditional recipe calls for Chiva cheese or Saltierra cheese, but I am unable to get any of those. So a good substitution would be queso fresco, and you can even add some cotija, which is going to bring a little bit more saltiness. The original recipe doesn't call for salt because the cheeses are salty enough. So give it a test and add salt as you desire. Transfer into a container and set it aside. Your cheese filling should have some liquid in it, but not too much. And now for the masa. We're gonna start with 4 clean, de-seeded and deveined Guajillo peppers that we're gonna cover in water and take to the stove to simmer. When your peppers are done, transfer them into your cup. And you're also gonna add 3 or 4 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and salt. And I will also recommend adding 1/3 of a cup of the water where you cook your peppers to get a smoother blend. And for my masa, I'm gonna start with my regular 2 ingredients: 2 cups of masa harina and 1.5 cups of warm water that I will be adding gradually. My goal is to achieve a sand-like consistency where my masa is not fully hydrated, since I will be adding extra liquid with the sauce of the peppers that I just made. When I get to the point where my masa sticks together but it falls apart when I squeeze it, I'm gonna start adding the puree in 3 parts. Add some of the puree into your masa and using your hand, squeeze and dough that masa until the color gets even, everything gets well incorporated, and there is no more puree left both in your container and on the sides of your bowl. You will notice that your masa becomes softer and smoother, well hydrated, and you are able to dough it into a testal very easily. Cover it and let it aside until you get all of your ingredients and tools ready to start making your enchiladas. I will be making testales approximately of 1 1/4 of an inch. Enchiladas Potosinas are small in size, which means that I need smaller tortillas. Once they are in your hot pan and the bottom part is cooked, don't make the mistake that I just did and flip them. Just leave the cooked side down and add your cheese filling. Then fold it and make sure all the edges touch each other. And please don't be tempted to overfill your enchiladas. They require more or less 1 tablespoon of the filling. And I know that thanks to the wonderful visual instructions that I received. Once you're done sealing your enchiladas, transfer them into a plate with a paper towel and let them sit because they're not ready yet. Before serving them, we need to fry them, and we're gonna do that in a little bit of neutral oil. Make sure it's nice and hot and don't overcrowd your pan. Flip them and take them out and let them rest in another plate with another paper towel. Finish the rest and we're almost done here. For the traditional side, we're gonna make guacamole. You'll need 1/4 of an onion finely diced, 2 tomatoes diced as well, serrano pepper to your taste, and a handful of cilantro. Into my molcajete, I'm gonna bring between 2 or 3 ripe, good sized avocados and I'm gonna mash them. I want to keep some texture, so I'm not looking for a puree. If you don't have a molcajete, use a fork, never a blender. Once that's done, let's go back to our chopped veggies. Add some salt and pepper, olive oil for creaminess, 1 juicy lime, and give it a mix. If you stop right here, you have a pico de gallo. But we're gonna mix them together. Do so gently, and I always like to bring it back to the molcajete for presentation. To plate, set your enchiladas in the center, add a side of beans, and scoop some of your guacamole on the other side. Drizzle some cream on your enchiladas, and of course, add some extra cheese. And there you go. And here we have them. I couldn't be more excited and more thankful. Once again, thank you, Anna Mary, for sharing this recipe with me and for allowing me to share it with the world. Thank you for your wonderful instructions. I hope I honored you and your family by recreating this wonderful recipe. I think that there are 2 mistakes that I made, which would be if you're blending your peppers, use your food processor because it's gonna be more powerful than just your blender. I was feeling lazy, so my masa ended up with bits and pieces of pepper. If it doesn't bother you, then they're perfectly fine. But if you want a more even looking masa, then go ahead and use your food processor. Other error that I made was to cook the tortilla on both sides. I think you're supposed to cook it only on one side, and then when the top part is half cooked, put the filling in so you get a better seal. Otherwise, they tend to open. So I think that was absolutely on my part. I apologize for that, but they ended up pretty decent anyway. So you are traditionally supposed to serve them with guacamole and beans. There are other sides, but it's gonna be up to you. And they are eaten as, like fried taquitos. So you grab them in, let's get some avocado on them, some guacamole. Mm. They are very delicious. If you like enchiladas, You have to give this one a try because they are the most unique ones, at least in my opinion. They are amazing, and it's just so flavorful and different. I absolutely love them as much as I love San Luis Potosí. If you like this recipe, just like this video, be like Anna Mary and share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adiós, amigos.